Hello, and welcome to Children's Sunday School for Sunday, April the 18th with Second Presbyterian Church in Roanoke. My name is Elizabeth Link, and today's story is about memory and surprise. I wonder, how do you recognize a friend? Is it by hair color or voice? By what they wear, how they look? There are many ways that we can recognize someone that we know. In our Bible story today, Jesus is with his disciples when he does something that helps them know exactly who he is. Cleopas and his friend had gone to Jerusalem with Jesus. Now they were leaving. Jesus was dead, and they were going home. They were walking on the road to Emmaus, talking about all that had happened. A stranger caught up with them and asked, "What are you talking about?" "You're coming from Jerusalem. Don't you know what happened there?" they asked. "Haven't you heard the news about the prophet killed in Jerusalem?" "What news?" the stranger asked. Cleopas explained, "Jesus was our friend. He talked about loving others. He was God's prophet. Many people followed him. We thought he would be the one to save us from Roman rulers. But some leaders in the government thought he was dangerous. They killed him 3 days ago. Today, women went to his tomb. They said the tomb was empty. They saw angels who said Jesus is alive. Now we don't know what to believe. We are sad and confused." "I know you're sad. Listen to me," said the stranger. "Do you remember what the prophets wrote about the one sent from God?" Then he told them some old stories about the one whom God had promised to send. This one would show them how to live together peacefully. They continued walking together. As the sun set, they arrived in Emmaus. The stranger kept on walking. "Wait, it's almost night time," said the 2 disciples. "Please stay with us." The stranger agreed. When the food was ready, the stranger took the bread. He broke the bread into 2 pieces and gave it to them. Then Cleopas and his friend saw it was Jesus who was sitting at the table with them. And then Jesus disappeared. Cleopas said, "It was Jesus who walked with us when we were sad. I felt my heart shine inside me when he told us those old stories." They were so surprised that they didn't finish eating. They left Emmaus and hurried back to Jerusalem. There, the disciples were talking about Peter, having seen Jesus. Cleopas and his friend told the disciples what had happened to them. "Jesus is alive! We knew it was him, and he gave us the bread," they said. The 2 disciples didn't recognize Jesus when he told them the old stories of the prophets. What changed that helped their eyes open and be able to see that Jesus was among them? When we are hurrying, sometimes we look right past the thing right in front of us. Take a moment to walk through your house. Look at everything in it. What are the things that are special to you? Cleopas and his friend recognized Jesus when he took the bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it to them. It was then that their eyes were opened and they recognized Jesus was among them. Take some time today to sit down at a table, whether it's when you eat your breakfast or your lunch or your dinner or your snack. And when you are sharing your food with your brother or sister or your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or friend, tell this story to each other. And remember that it was around an ordinary table with ordinary food that Jesus made himself known to his disciples. Today's Bible story is about two disciples who met the risen Jesus along the road. It was hard for them to recognize Jesus at first. It wasn't until he took the bread and broke it that they knew who he was. Sometimes it can be hard for us to recognize God, even though God is all around us. Our book today is the same book Pastor Ben read on Sunday. It's called Maybe God is Like That Too. Eleanor got this book for Easter, didn't you? Can we read it together? All right, good plan. I live in the city where the sidewalks and subway cars and buildings and buses are packed with people, but I've never seen God before. Grandma, does God live in the city? I asked one morning at breakfast. Yes, God is here, she says. You just need to know where to look. Whenever you see love, joy, and peace, God is there, she says, stirring her tea. Wherever there is patience, kindness, and goodness, God is there too. When you see faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, that is God's Spirit at work. On the way to school, I'm on the lookout. I see a bus full of tourists and count 10 bright yellow taxis. I spy a man sweeping a stoop, and Grandma and I laugh when we see a tiny dog wearing a fluffy purple sweater.
Aww.
At school, Grandma hands me my lunch and hugs me close before she says goodbye. That's what love looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the swings, I pump so hard I see over the wall into the alley. My friends shout, "Higher, higher," as my feet fly way up into the sky. That's what joy looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Outside, car horns blast and sirens scream, but my classroom is quiet and calm. That's what peace looks like to me too. Maybe God is like that too. I try to tie my shoes, but the laces tangle around my fingers. My teacher sits down beside me and shows me how to tie them. That's what patience looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the way home, I see a doorman wearing a red cape and a hat with a shiny brim. He's holding the door for a man using a wheelchair. The man moves very slowly, and the doorman chats with him and smiles. That's what kindness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. While I'm setting the table for dinner, there's a knock at the door. It's our neighbor from downstairs bringing us a loaf of bread. It's golden and brown and warm and wrapped in a thin white towel. That's what goodness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. After dinner, I work on my homework, while Grandma stands at the kitchen sink, washing dishes and humming to herself, just like she does every single night. That's what faithfulness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. At bedtime, Grandma sits at the edge of my bed, singing me a lullaby and stroking my head. She tucks my blankets up close around me. That's what gentleness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I lie in bed watching the curtains flutter. I want to talk about that dog we saw today and how high I can swing, but Grandma says that once I'm tucked in, I have to stay in bed till morning. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. That's what self-control looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too.
It's ready.
I saw God over and over again today, whenever I saw love, joy, and peace, and wherever there was patience, kindness, and goodness. When I saw faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, I saw God's Spirit at work. I don't see God the way I see my friends or the streetlights or the river, but I see signs of God's Spirit all around me, right here in the city. I know what God is like. Maybe I can be like that too. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
What's putting on there?
He's putting up a fruit stand.
Why?
I think he's selling some fruit. Galatians 5:22 through 23a. Eleanor, what do you think of our story? Did you like it? I think God is like all those wonderful things. If we open our eyes and we know how to look for God, we can see God all around us. Can you say bye to our friends?
Bye, friends!
This is Miss Kristen and Paisley this week for our Song for Sunday School. When we're talking about memory and scripture. Paisley, will you sing this back to Mama? Let us break bread together on our knees. Let us break bread together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Yay! Can we clap, Paisley? Clap, clap! Yay!
Our birthday.
Good. And our second one, Paisley K. We're going to do one more, okay? Look, we're going to do one more. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Can you say bye-bye? Can you say bye-bye? Are you waving? Good girl.